Yeah, Esports Boxing Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Esports Boxing Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the restart. The art was the key part. The heart determination. Liberation is the reward. Thanks for the reports. Invites to the Discord. Boxing now reborn. 0-0 record. It's time for the jabs. Lacing up the hand grabs. Sidestep, giving angles. Sauna, tighten up the abs. Yo, it's time for the headaches. The legs and the backaches. Swelling on the eye to remind you of your mistakes and how he capitalized. Oh, and thank you to the guys. Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford, many more I idolize. Yo, you added all the women, the warriors who made us. Jessica, Clarissa, Shields, the Rose, Cecilia Breakers. Now listen, a few things I wanna do here. Icon like Amir. When I end my career, cause the motto said the brave doesn't go without fear. But he's different than the coward, cause he uses his fear. When my opponent is near, I'm staring down the stone faces. Tough leather beaten, rougher than the other places. Don't care what the case is, don't care where the place is. Your hand ain't getting raised if you don't know the basics, mother. Esports Boxing Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Esports Boxing Club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is the biggest and best boxing game in history. Oops. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Up off. Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what day it is. It's Taco Tuesday. Baby. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the adult. All right, man. Look at who we have here. Colin Davenport. What's going on with you? Eddie Jr. What's going on with you? Oops. All right, man. Look, first, I want to say this. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tyson Bell. You guys know it's Taco Tuesday, but this is a special Taco Tuesday. I just want to cover ESBC with you guys. We're going to talk ESBC. I know you guys going to have the Will Smith comments. All right. That's almost old now. The way social media is, that's like old now. That's old gray right now. We could talk that. But I really want this to be really focused on ESBC, all the Q&As. I think it will only be fair to all of you who wants to know as much information as possible. You guys do know that I played ESBC for over 20 hours. My hands are still hurting. All right. We had a tournament. Boxing Fanatical won the tournament. He won like a Muhammad Ali 1 out of 6 autographed Muhammad Ali card. That's like, dude, everybody was like, no, I won a Muhammad Ali card. Then you should have won the tournament. But we'll talk about that in detail. We'll talk about just everything you guys want to talk about. I want to say this first. Hold on. I think somebody said something. BK said something. Sully, ShowBizz. Can I get that in? My bad. What am I thinking? Where we at? There it is. And if you haven't done it already, everybody, please hit the like. Hit the like. Get those. Get the thumbs up. Hit the like. Get those. Get the thumbs up. Hit the like. Get those. Get the thumbs up. Hit the like. Get those. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the like. Get those. Hit the Tyson Bell. Let me see. So you lost. Okay, wait, so you lost, okay? That's lets us know. Oh, you can be beat. I can't be beat. And I won't be beat, huh? I'm kicking your ass. It's Tyson Bell. Let me see. That's my joint. Okay. First, I want to start off by saying this. Man, it's hot with this hoodie and this hat. I'm gonna have to chill out, bro. I'm gonna start off by saying this. I think by law, I must cover if I was compensated, if I'm being compensated for this, if I was compensated at all, covering ESBC, doing the gameplay, anything like that. And I think it's fair to you guys to see my agenda. If I have any other reason to say what I'm saying. So I want to say this. I was not, I don't think any of us, but I can speak for myself. I was not compensated monetarily for the trip, for anything I'm doing with ESBC. Okay, I want to get that clear. They did though covered my flight, food, because they were hosting Will Kinsler at his house. We love you, boy. Food, the flight, hotel, Will, he picked us up. He traveled from here and there. We did get gifts. Got this water bottle that I'm using this morning. Water, room temperature. We did get boxing glove. Each of us got boxing gloves, autographed by Showtime Sean Porter, Sergio Mora, Todd Grisham, all those boys. So we did get that. Hold on. Also, I got this ESBC Xbox controller. Hopefully you guys can see that. Got that. Pretty dope. And it's not like a sticker that's over it. It's really the ESBC controller. So that's fine. And sweaters and shirts. I got this hoodie and I got a shirt. And I think that's it. Okay. So, but I think by law, I'm supposed to communicate that to you guys. All right. So let's get started, man. What do you guys want to know? Shout out to ESBC. They are incredible very much. Biz on Xbox. I'm on Xbox. I'm going to be on PlayStation. I'm going to be everywhere. King Juice everywhere. King Juice. What the hell? Hold on. Let me see. Can you talk briefly about you versus Coach's Corner match of the century in detail? Okay. What sticks out and the crazy moments? By the way, I'm gonna whoop that ass. It was King Juice who actually beat me in the first game of the tournament. Me and him, we were first, and we didn't even want to be first. We were like, dang, because we both are sluggers. So it was that was crazy. So let me see. Speak briefly about me versus Coach's Corner match of the century in detail. Yeah. So Coach's Corner, he had Mickey Ward. And that was a great question because that can kind of open up the gameplay itself. So he had Mickey Ward. I had Arturo Gatti. The fight was insane. First of all, Coach, the way he plays, and I'm just going to let you guys know people's playing style too. I mean, this is a Q&A. So I'm just going to open up on you. Coach is a counter puncher, but here's the thing. Coach and Boxing Fanatico are similar. Me and King Juice are similar, right? So so they had to play each other first in the tournament. That me and King Juice had to play. So it was perfect actually. But Coach's Corner is a counter puncher who you can just tell that he knows boxing. He knows the distance. He tries to control the distance, not by running away. He does it in like an Andre Ward way, a Shakur Stevenson way. He'll just have 2 inches is all he needs. And he'll sit right there and you'll throw a punch or two. He wouldn't even move. He wouldn't waste the stamina. He knows your range. So he did a lot of ranging. So he beat me the first 6 rounds. Like, schooled me. He took Gotti to school the first 6 rounds. Bam, whoop, bam, whoop, boom. He ain't trying to knock you out. He's just working it, okay? And if you overdo it, then he's going to punish you for it. All right. So, I mean, we all have our boxing minds, all of us, and we all know fight night and stuff like that. And I'm going to talk about that too. But with his boxing mind, he did that to me for the first 6 rounds. So I said, forget it. You guys know me. Now, this is my boxing mind. I said, if you can't outbox him, you got to fight him. Hit the Tyson Bell. You got to fight him. So I just took it to him. I didn't care if he hit me with a jab and it looked good. If I got caught, if it bounced off my glove, it doesn't matter. I walked him down. I jab, right hook to the head, couple hooks to the body, left hook to the head. Like I was modifying every punch too. Boom. He hit me with jab. Boom. I mean, just hitting him with all I got. Forget it. It's Gotti Ward. I knocked him down. Ah! I lost my mind. I knocked him down. He gets up. He gets back. Hold on. I heard you talking about the game would glitch as if your player would just fall to the ground mid-round. How often did that happen? Okay, I'll let you guys know that. Hold on real quick. Let me finish telling the story. So I knock him down. He gets up. What coach do? He doesn't panic. He gets back to his shit. Swim without getting wet. Shoot the jab a little bit. Boom. I go get him. Gotti knocks him down again. Like a round later. All right. Every round I didn't knock him down, he won. All right. So I knock him down again. It's like the 9th round or something like that. So he's hurt. He's hurt. I'm wearing him out. What does he do? He starts fighting back. All of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. We in there. He hurts me. I'm on my heels. I'm trying to get away. He comes after me. I survive. We go back to slugging. Bam, bam. It got to the point that going into the 12th round, you had everybody like, dude, I have no idea who's going to win this fight. I start taking the last couple rounds. I had his health, his stamina to this. We were both at a point where if you land one shot, you'll hurt the other guy. Like it was really, you don't want to take any more punches. But we were both like at 20%. And in that game, if you're at 20%, well, in the rendition we played, if you had 20%, you might as well call it. We were both there. The 12th round, we're both being smart. Bam, boom, boom, bam. Start landing a little bit on each other. I'm digging with everything I got, okay? Modifying every shot I got. He doesn't get hurt. I don't get hurt. So the last 5 seconds, we stand in the middle of the round and we start letting our hand go. Bam, bam. It was Gotti Ward. Boom, 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 boom. People are going crazy. We start button smashing so much. The 12th round ends, but we're still swinging. And we button smash our way through the whole thing. We didn't see who won the fight. The scorecard went, boom, 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 and then it went all the way through. And in the rendition we played, we couldn't go back to check. We were like, no! Nobody know who won that fight. And because of that fight, because of how much effort he had to put in that fight, Coach's Corner was done for the rest of the day. Coach was like, I'm done, bro. Ask Coach. He was like, I'm not giving myself that much of a headache. I'm done. Fantastic. Let me see. It is super. Hold on real quick. It's too hot. Well, I'm about to. I gotta take off the hat today. Turn off the heat, take off the hat. Ah, this hoodie is really working. Let me see. I heard you talking about the game would glitch, as if your player would just fall to the ground mid-game. How often did that happen? And look, don't forget, this is like alpha, pre-alpha, okay? So those things are going to happen. There are many things. How often did it happen? It definitely happened every time you try to go for a clinch. The probability of that happening was pretty high. But that was just like, I mean, there were times when your fighter would bend all the way over like the Exorcist. It was like, and then he's walking around the ring, and it was like, okay, brother. But that didn't happen like that. It didn't happen that often, but it happened often enough. Kenny Bayless, the referee, was never fine. Like sometimes it'd just be his eyes floating around, or sometimes he'd be outside the ring. This is like he was never okay. The cornermen were never okay. They were always kind of phased into the middle of the ring. Like we got over that real quick because we're just focused on us fighting. So a few things would happen, like what happened with me and King Juice. Your blocker stopped working, and my fighting style, it was hard for me to realize when my block stopped working and how long it hasn't been working. That happened twice against King Juice. I was complaining too. I was like, no, we got to restart this. Certain things like that would happen, but it happened pretty often enough. Let me see. How was the head movement system? Can you bob and weave like in Fight Night Biz? Okay. Look, let me make this clear, okay? You can do almost everything that is in a fight. You can bob and weave, and you can do like a slip, like a dip. It's you press the toggle. You press the toggle in and to the direction, right? And you can do it. You can dip forward, right? It's like you could duck down, or you could dip to the side. It was beautiful, beautiful work. You could also flick and do like a step. So you can do all those things. But the biggest thing I want you guys to focus on was when he said, like in Fight Night. There was nothing that you can do that's like in Fight Night. Hit the Tyson bell. All of the stuff is there, like in boxing, but none of it was done like Fight Night. And that was the huge issue, because I didn't realize for 20 hours I was playing the game like Fight Night. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Let me see. How many rounds am I going to let you go before I put you to sleep? Funny. Then I'll retire 1-0, undefeated ESBC champ, slept biz, heard around the world. Yeah, right. Good luck. That's good. So yeah. So, there go a boxing video game. Which, dude, I am sweating like I should not have put on this hoodie. This hoodie is. Jeez, let me get my room temperature. I should put ice in it. Is it the best boxing game you've ever played, Biz? Honestly. Honestly, by far. Look, when you play, after playing, I'll talk about that too. By far, after playing Fight Night for so long, you don't realize how unrealistic Fight Night is. Fight Night, look, let me do it like this. Polls in the house. That's right. Let me do it like this. There was nothing in ESBC that, okay, you as a fighter cannot do nothing. There's no actions you can do that would create an action or animation from your opponent. Let me give you an example. In Fight Night, in all of the Fight Nights, there were things that they had in the game that made you play to those things. Case in point, the counter. People did a step because when you miss, your animation change, boom, and you'll slow down. giving a big counter window. And and you'll get a flash. And because of that, people start playing to that. I want to set you up so I can make you counter, because there's nothing you can do. There was nothing in this game that caused an animation from your opponent. You were giving all these tools to be the fighter you can be. And whatever you accomplish was just due to your game plan. If there was a counter, you just call them in a counter. But their animation didn't slow down. Nothing you did made them. It's just you made them miss and you made them pay. There was nothing you did, right, that caused the animation from your opponent. That was a huge difference. And the rhythm of the game. I was making this huge mistake, and I didn't realize that I got it from Fight Night. In Fight Night, I would throw a combination, a jab to the head, right hook to the body, left hook to the head. Why? Because when I threw the jab to the head, I was always afraid of the straight right spammers. When I throw a jab to the head, it paused them for a quick second, right, to stop them from being in range to throw the right hand. Then I'll throw a right hook to the body, right, which will cancel. After I throw the jab to the head, they wanted to throw the right hand. When I threw the right hook to the body, it canceled their right hand. And then I throw my left hook to the head to make them pay. That's not really a boxing combination. Not like that. Boom, boom, boom. Not like that. That doesn't happen often. So in ESBC, I kept doing it because of my muscle memory in my hands. I didn't realize I was playing it like Fight Night. So when you shoot the jab, you go to throw the right hook to the body, that comes off okay, but then he has to reset. So it's like boom, boom, boom. So he does a whole thing that's kind of like, I can't do that combination. When I tried to do that, they were making me pay. Boom, boom. Okay, you got the right off, but then pop, pop, they'll throw 1-2 while I'm trying to set and throw my left hook to the head. You can't play it like Fight Night. You can't. And I wasn't trying to. I just didn't realize how much my muscle memory was so Fight Night-ish. Let me see. In ESBC, when you throw hook, uppercut, does it change animation based on how far you are from the opponent? In Fight Night, each hook is the same. Exactly. I had Rocky Marciano. I love playing with Rocky Marciano. I would throw a jab. Here's the funny thing. If you're too close, it'll be kind of like a hook. Everything depend on where you were. Your fighter would try his best to land that punch. If you're real close and I throw a jab with Rocky Marciano, he throws like a hook because the animation, it just wouldn't. He'd throw it as close as you are, so it looked like a hook. If you're far away, he extend the jab. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Good point. Anyone know how to watch Savannah Marshall? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'll let you know, bro. I'll let you know. Will Smith is playable in the game. Let me see. That's insane. What else we got? Tiz, how was it meeting Sean Porter? You got any stories for us? Actually, I have many stories. But a lot of that stuff I'm going to keep for me. All right. Because it was just me and Sean Porter, we hung out. All right. Here's some funny stuff though that I can't say. I was so excited to see Sean Porter, and many people who know us in this community knew why. They knew that I see Sean Porter as a representation of what we've been saying every day on what would make boxing the #1 sport in the world. It's not about how often you get beat. It's about how you get up. It's not about being undefeated. It's about who you fight. All those things. Okay. He represents that. So everybody knew that when ShowBizz sees Sean Porter, he's going to lose his mind. It was all a surprise. Okay. So yeah, I did speak to Sean. I was talking to Sean, and a few little stories. Todd Grisham, he said, hey, ShowBizz is like a huge fan of yours. And Sean Porter was like, really? Yeah, he had his teeth out. He said, really? And then he was just kind of like, I wouldn't suspect that, you know what I mean? Because you guys know all of my teeth jokes. But we spoke about the channel, about the community. We spoke about the fact that I can do a live stream, a podcast every morning. And he's like, that's a strong community. I'm like, we're crazy. This community is crazy about boxing. Okay. So it's kind of like you can cover boxing every day. This community doesn't give a damn. This community has something to talk about every day when it comes to boxing. So you have that. Another great thing was we were both in the same hotel. He went by, ESBC was there. He came by the room and he introduced his kid to KNOX, my son. He said, your son looked just like my son. And he put his son on FaceTime and they were speaking to each other. Ah! When I grabbed my 4-year-old son and I just put him up to Sean and I'm like, look, he's your haggler. When I was 4, I found boxing. Marvelous Marvin Hagler versus Ham Show. I grabbed my son and was like, here. I grabbed my son and was like, here, bro. So yeah, there were great moments with Sean Porter. Let me see what else you got to say. Anyone know how to watch? Oh yeah, forgot about that. I'll definitely let you know that. Hit the Tyson bell. Hit the like button for the best of the business. Thank you so much. Dude, I'm just super hot. I need a t-shirt or something because this hoodie is a new member, baby. Yes, Lord. Let me see. Let me see what Boxing Wish List has. Did you notice anything that indicated who the publisher was? No. Is the gameplay like UFC? I get what you're saying. Dude, I'm about to change my shirt. This here, I feel like Preacher Biz up here. Ha! Ha! It's a gameplay like UFC 4. Okay, yeah, kinda. It was kinda, in a sense that it's the buttons, man. The buttons, I felt you had to preload. I'm gonna be honest. I felt like you had to preload the buttons, which made sense because it was very authentic. Let me tell you what I mean. If I hit 1, 2, 1, okay? Jab, straight jab. All right. If I do it like this, right? He doesn't go, he doesn't do the animation. The animation was like, pat, pat, pat. So because you have feints, you can cancel your punch. So just like UFC, if you know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just like UFC, the punches don't come out exactly because they got to do stuff. It depends on how you're moving. If you're moving back and you shoot a jab, if you move, he stops, right? Bam. It's like a little stop. It's like, bam. So it's not like it doesn't do that. It's like real, okay? But from my understanding, the analog stick is better for your timing when you're throwing the punch. Because in your head, when you're doing the punches, like what people saying you're button smashing, when you do the analog stick in your head, your timing's better. So when you're doing from my understanding, it's just more intuitive with the animations of the fighters, which I complained about. All right. Still, though, I'm very curious and I'm very disappointed that I didn't lean on the analog stick more. The reason why I say that is because I think I'm going to approach this game with the analog stick only. Not because I'm expecting it to be more intuitive, but because how they described to me how it felt more natural with your timing when using the stick opposed to the buttons. All right. So I think I'm going to be all analog for this game. Let me see. A new member, baby. Let me see. Damn, that sucks. Analog is better. Really? Why you say? Do they have any training modes? Yes, they do. Okay. But we did not get to thank God the heat turned off. Whew. We did not get to use those things. So look, I think the career mode, to be honest, look, hey, look, this is everything you need to know. I think the career mode is going to be huge in this game because Ash Habib, the founder of the game, he kept wanting to talk about the career mode where it wasn't being allowed by Will Kinsler. He's like, no, don't bring that up. No. It's like, dude, you can tell he's extremely excited. Like, yo, the gameplay is going to be great, but the career mode, y'all, is going to really sell this game because I think he's so focused on having this true to life boxing experience. Like I said, when I looked at the menu and I looked at the creator mode and I saw create a cut man, create a coach, create I can tell that he's trying to have it all inclusive. And I want you guys to understand this too. You're dealing with boxing fans. Will Kinsler's house, he has the largest boxing memorabilia I've ever seen. I'm talking about crazy stuff. Jack Johnson trading cards. Bruh, I'm telling you, me and Coach's Corner was like, we'll be back. And we're no criminals. We were looking at stuff like, hey, yo, you got the mask, the hat. We're about to ski up. I'm just playing. Will, I'll play it. No, but he had Jack Johnson stuff. He had, I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. I'm talking about Jack Dempsey versus Willard and just autograph stuff. I said that let me know that you're talking to boxing fans. Even Ash Habib, he wanted a boxing game because and when I'm eating with them and having a margarita and I'm talking, you hear certain shit like Will saying, I don't really care how much we make from the game as long as we give back to the sport of boxing. So you can tell where their heart's at. That's why the game is focused on it being as authentic as possible. And they're hoping it's fun too. And that's why we were having these conversations like, well, if you love Fight Night and if you're great at Fight Night, I wonder if you're going to think this game sucks. Or if you don't have the patience, because you got to have patience in this game. You can't be out there winging and dinging unless you fight another wing and dinger. But you got to, it's a rhythm to this game. It's like a, there's a beautiful rhythm to the game, right? That is very, if you go to any boxing gym, it feels that way. Let me see. Can you use the jab to find distance? Absolutely. Or a stiff jab or a stiff arm to land right hand like Caleb Plant and okay, can you put out that stick? No. But you can shoot the jab for the distance. Yeah. We set so many traps in that game, not because, hey, this game gives you traps. It's because they gave you all of the skill set and the tools. And then when you're against another player, you're playing against the mind, not the game. You're playing to the mind of your opponent, not to the game. It's very hard for me to describe, but there's nothing going on that you have to do in this game to speak to the game. You're beating the opponent, right? So every little jab and every little thing we did, we were setting up our opponent. Jab, oh, he missed. No, I flicked that jab so I can land the right hand. I flicked that jab so you can do a step and a check hook. So jab, step around. You're stepping around because you know what he's going to do. You shoot your jab, he try to counter the right, you step around, bam, and he walks. It's so beautiful, bro. It's so beautiful. It's incredible. But you're not playing to the game. You're playing against the opponent. I'm going to try to explain that the best I can. 2 questions. How hardcore simulation boxing is ESBC? We didn't have hardcore. We only had the casual mode. Is the game is this the game us hardcore? Oh, boxing fans. Oh, yes, absolutely. It's the only boxing game I've ever played. Other games were games about boxing. This is the first boxing game I've ever played. Yeah, absolutely. Biz versus Fanatico. How'd that go? Oh, I'll tell you how that went. And I'm going to be extremely honest. Hold on real quick. Will a beta be available to the public before launch? I think so. Salute to you, Biz. Thank you so much, Daryl. And hit the Tyson bell. And the reason why I say I think so is because I heard Will Kinsler say, oh, this is the first of many events. And look, Will Kinsler, I don't know if you guys know, but he's like Mr. Fortnite. So he started Fortnite. You're talking about a guy who was a part of Fight Night Round 4, who's done many games, one of that being the famous Fight Night. He's done Gears of War as well. So you're talking about a guy who understands when to launch a beta, when to have the public get involved, when to bring on content creators like us to test the game. He knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to this. And the only reason why he became part of the game, he's the one that really was like, yo, I want to box the game. Here's the thing. Will Kinsler knew Hard Knock Nights Live and what I was doing. And he donated, right? He pledged to Hard Knock Nights Live. He wanted a boxing game so badly. The thing is, he said, and he told me in the car, that's how I know that people who were accusing you of taking money or whatever, he said, that's how I know you didn't. He said, because I was one of the biggest pledges for the game. He said, my money never left. So you're talking about a guy who joined this whole Steel City Interactive movement and this whole thing for ESBC, all because he wants to participate in boxing. Forget how much money they make, right? So that's the beautiful thing. Now, as far as me versus Boxing Fanatico, I'm going to tell you exactly how that went. When we started playing, me and Boxing Fanatico, he couldn't beat me, right? He couldn't beat me. After he won the tournament, we and him, we never had a chance to play. I just knew I was going to win the tournament. King Juice caught me. But I knew going in I was going to win the tournament. I was trying to keep it calm, right? Because I knew I'd beat Boxing Fanatico. After the tournament, I crushed Boxing Fanatico. But here's the thing. Okay? Boxing Fanatico here now. Here's the thing about Boxing Fanatico. The thing is, when I was crushing Boxing Fanatico, Fanatico, maybe you'll have it in your vlog. When I was crushing Boxing Fanatico, I told him, you about to be the best one, bro. Because he was labbing. When you're playing the game, you eventually want to win. I don't know if Boxing Fanatico was trying to win the first day. Seriously. He was kind of labbing, and I saw him doing things that I'm like, well, damn, man. Like, I'm beating him, but I'm like, this guy's about to be the best one. He's doing things that I haven't been started trying yet. He's understanding things that I haven't tried to understand. It didn't matter to him, right? And that's what we all should have been doing. After I beat him, when I beat him after the tournament, I was like, yo, I'm the best one here. And then he wanted to play me again. When he played me again, he beat me 5 in a row. I couldn't beat him. It got to a point where I lost my juice. Like, I lost my rhythm. I couldn't beat him. He knew how to beat me after a while. It was like, I'm going to block here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to swim without getting wet. I'm going to do that. But he understood everything else. All the stuff that we didn't try to learn. And the biggest thing was my hands were still in fight night mode, where he was trying to break that from the very beginning. He was like, dude, we can't play it like fight night from the very beginning. And I thought I wasn't until I realized I actually was playing it like fight night. I was. Let me see. The analog is better because moving the stick in multiple directions is more fluid. Than pressing the button. Buttons can move. You can only press them. Can't move. You can only press them. I can understand that. Let me see. So when you're trying to string together a combination, it would be easier with analog than buttons. Right. I can see that. I can see that. Let me see what Paul has to say. Yeah. Will did the Fight Night Round 4 event, and I was there. I sparred Sergio Moore. I hit the Tyson bell. Okay, there you go. How important is the jab and distance control? Everything. I'm going to tell you a little something I learned. About the game, and I learned it at the tail end. I did it before, but I didn't realize it was a thing. Your punches and knockouts come faster if you stay with the jab. Why? Because your BPM. If you're swinging and dinging trying to knock somebody out, you're losing power on your punches over time. When I settled down against Coach's Corner, when I settled down with Gotti, shot the jab, and then bam, and then boom, 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 bam. When I started doing that, I dropped him. But I didn't realize what I was doing until later. If you shoot the jab, stay poised, your knockout will come, and your knockdowns will come a little bit better. They would. Let me see. Biz was up in Cary working with those epic game folks. That means he's getting a good game. Biz to go. My man, we're getting a good game. 100%. Let me see. I want to see if what I said. Let me see. Yo, me and Biz became really good friends after this event. Yeah. Me and Box Fanatico, we close, man. That's my brother. At this point. Let me see. They have to keep analog and button, because if it's just analog, I won't buy it. They have to keep analog and buttons. They have to. That's what they're going to do, analog and buttons. But my thing is this, and I want you guys to listen closely. This is my thing. If you're going to have both, one cannot be more intuitive than the other. That's all. You got to balance it, and they're working on that, because I definitely complained about it. They're working on that. They're working on balancing everything out. One, or at least make it as close as possible. One can't be more intuitive than the other, because that will ruin the game. Because now all the analog people are going to be beating the buttons people, because it's just better to use the analog. I don't want it to be better. I want it to be an option. If it's better for me to use the analog, then I'll use it. If it's better for you to use the buttons, then do it. But I should not have a bigger leg up than you, because you like the buttons. You feel better hitting the buttons. You cannot make everybody feel bad because they want one over the other because of how their minds work. You can't do that, right? So I hope everything is, get a little bit closer. Let me see what Sully has to say. Oh, I didn't see what. Oh, here goes Sully right here. Cary, that's my hometown. I'm gonna see you guys next time. 100%, Sully. 100%. Bro, it even felt like the analogs were fat. It did. Boxing Fanatical is right. It felt like that. We need a Fanatical. We all just need like another sit down live and everybody just get included. Let me know. Hit me on Twitter or whatever. So, because I want to make sure everything I'm saying, we gotta come together and see if we all felt the same way while playing the same game. But the analogs felt bad. See, that's the thing. I did not even try the analog. Fanatical did, right? And he said that it felt better. If I'm going to definitely be an analog player, because I haven't been. and I need something, anything, to not make me play like Fight Night. If you play like Fight Night, you're going to be trash. It's going to suck. And even Ash Habib, the founder of the game, when Fanatical said that, he was like, yeah, good, because I would have been worried if you thought it played like Fight Night. They definitely made sure that this game was as authentic as possible. And I'm going to talk about Fight Night in a minute. Hit the Tyson Bell. Victor asks, oh, yes, I wonder, why would you shoot him on before throwing it for the blade? Rolly, please, Troll Tank, come out to Bees in a tater salad during the ring walk, dog. Brother, that'd be hilarious. I would lose my shit. Morning, Biz. Woke up late because I'm in Hawaii for my birthday. Happy birthday, brother. In Hawaii. That's beautiful. Hit the Tyson Bell for the 42. 42! What up, dog? We remember the same shit. We remember GoBots and Transformers. We remember it all. He-Man, Thundercats, Silverhawks. So you remember Mumbo Jumbo? Let me see. Buttons are trash. Yeah. All love. Let me see. Much respect. Hey, look, my man who said buttons is trash. Listen, all right. No need to have a button versus analog. Everybody want to be an analog. I want to be a versus person. All right. If you like analog, just do you. Listen, you don't have to talk about button people. If you like buttons and not analog, do you? Everybody just do what you do. Let me see. Much respect. ShowBizz Adult and the chat stopped in, show support, and hit the like button. Yeah, everybody, if you can't hit the like button, salute. Unbelievable how the channel has grown. Been here almost 2 years. You kept it 100. Thank you so much, my brother, for the support. Let me see. I love y'all, but buttons have advantages always. Brother, I don't give a damn. Hold on, dog.
Oh, you see this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo because he...
Brother, no one cares. As long as doing the analog and the buttons are very similar, like if it's not more intuitive to the game to do one over the other, just have comfort in doing what you do. Let me see. How were the knockdowns, flash KOs, and BPM mechanics? Okay, first of all, we have to understand that hitting to the body. So we don't have a true, legit understanding of knockdowns yet, because punching to the body was so OP. Right? It got to a point where I think it was Fanatical. He had my face red. So it was kind of like, just keep hitting me in my face and see. Because I had Terrence Crawford, because I start labbing after a minute. Because he was so fresh at moving, I start labbing. And then it was just like, I was just working on my slips. And I was like, yo, just punch me in the face a million times. And it took a while to knock me down. All right. To the body, you knew. So the body was OP. Okay. For this rendition. And we spoke to that. We complained about that like some babies, like some cry babies. Okay. So you have to keep that in mind. When I boxed, when I looked at my Kapu box every time, I was 50% head and body, but I knocked everybody out with body work. But I was 50% head and body. Okay. And I have a weird playing style. I leaned on the modification, the hard punches a lot. I was a slugger. I was very good at Rocky Marciano. But I know how it's supposed to work. And it's supposed to be based on timing, like the flash knockdowns, supposed to be based on like timing and where the punches are placed. So there's damage to the chin, damage to the cheekbones, damage to the forehead, damage to the middle of the body, damage to the sides of the body, damage to the limbs, to the arms, to the shoulder, to the elbow. There's damage everywhere. All right. So it's and I caught somebody. because of my stamina being high, my BPM being right, and they're lunging in, and I sat there and I threw the right hand and timed it perfectly, and boom, and they take a step back and they drop, right? So I think a lot has to do with timing and just punishing somebody for just going too buck wild and landing on a sweet spot. And this is what I mean by the sweet spot too. It's all physics-based. I threw a straight right to the body one time on a few occasions. And if my opponent ducked, that punch landed on the head. I threw a straight, if I threw a straight to the body and they duck, bam, they get hit in the head. It was all physics. I think me and a guy, one of the other creators, I think we threw punches and our gloves touched. Like, bop, and it only happened once, right? So as far as the knockdowns were half animation and then physics-based. So it starts in like an animation that's already set. You know, they have mini animation. So if you get hit, it starts like a animation if you get knocked down, and then it becomes physics-based, right? So it kind of looked funky after a while. Like, it's like, bam, and then he just drop. So they got to balance that, because a lot of those knockdowns look devastating. Like, yo, he ain't getting up. Look, the last fight, let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. The last fight, is Boxing Fanatical here? Because he's the last fight I had. Where is he? He ain't here? Look. The last fight, he knocked me outside of the ring. And Todd Grisham was there and said, bro, don't even try to get up. That's it. Bro, he had Kell Brook. I had Terrence Crawford. He hit me with the right hand. And Terrence Crawford fell back, and it looked like the ring took a shit. I fell back, bam, and I fell through the bottom rope because I was close to the ropes. I fell through the bottom rope outside the ring. I hit the table. I hit the table that was outside the ring and slid out. It was like, ah! I went to get up. Todd Grisham said, forget the mini game. Forget trying to get up. Turn off the game. Let's have some drinks. That's it. We left. We went downstairs. How many versions, animations of the jab are there? It all depends on where your opponent is standing, right? So if he's close, it turns a little bit, right? If he extended, it extends. Version of the jab, you know, you jab to the, everything looks like a jab, you know? I mean, you jab to the body, jab to the head, and it's the animation of the fighter you're playing with. It's all mocap. Every punch that Terrence Crawford threw was nothing like Wilder's. Every punch that Wilder threw was nothing like Rocky Marciano's, right? Every punch, I don't know who played Rocky Marciano, by the way, but he did a fantastic job. Every punch that Conor Benn threw was nothing like Caleb Plant's. Nothing like Caleb Plant was Caleb Plant. And even his defense was slight. You didn't know when he was blocking to the body or the head. He was just like that dude was fresh, bro. Fresh. So yeah, the animation was all based on the guy that you're playing with. Let me see. Clinch control, can you hold, and inside fight. Yeah. So this wasn't in the rendition that we had, but we did ask a lot of questions. You can clinch, and while you're clinching, you can punch with your free hand. All right. It's not gonna have a lot of power on it, but that's in boxing. Okay. Also, when you fight on the inside, supposedly there's a mini game. It's a bit different than just throwing punches on the outside. I think once you get your inside fighting, that's like a mini game. I think it's kind of like UFC. I think there's like a mini game. I want to say this too. The push, I hated the push. There's a push, but it looked like a push. And what Coach's Corner was saying was, can I get a bump? Not a push. You know, he had a few things that he wanted added to the game that was very, very smart. Coach's Corner was like, instead of an extended push, can I bump myself into there or bump you off of me? Can I boom and get close? Or if you're close to me, can I get you off like that? Can we do something more different, a little bit different than an extended, you know, Clubber Lane pushing Rocky against the corner, right? Let me see. Thank you so much for the super chat. What else we got? $1 trillion. Is it nearly as fun as Fight Night? It's far more fun than Fight Night. Fight Night's not even close. I would never play Fight Night again. I would never play Fight Night ever again. I can't play Fight Night again. Not after experiencing that game. I can't. I'm going to have to play, I don't know, UFC or something. I can't. Because now everything I thought a boxing game should be, that game had. Fight Night, you're floating around the ring. You get closer than you get closer to your opponent than you want to get because you're moving way too fast. You're talking about ESBC. If you love boxing, you're talking about guys stepping. And they're doing this while they're stepping. They step back. They step to the side. There's no hop all the way close to you. And there's no magnet keeping you close to your opponent. You know how you had to work real hard to get away from your opponent? There's none of that shit. They gave one player their tools and skill set, gave another fighter their tool and skill set, and it's up to you to make it work. There's nothing in the game that speaks to, I don't know, man, the game. It's so hard for me to explain. I don't know the terminology, but it's just so hard to explain. Fight Night, the stepping, right? I kept doing this thing that I got from Fight Night that I couldn't stop doing. When I'm close to a fighter, in Fight Night, you could be close to a fighter and you could take a step back and hit him with the right hand. Bam. Well, in this game, the timing, you're not really allowed to do it like that. First of all, when you take the step back, he takes a step back. He's like, the animation is not allowing. So you take the step back and you could throw the right hand, but it's coming so short and it doesn't have no power on it. You can throw it, even if you modify it, he's throwing. The only way you could step back and hit a guy with the right hand is if they're aggressively going towards you. But if we're together and you step away from me and throw a right hand, it's going to come up short. It's going to come up short. It's like, it's not going to work. And I kept doing this shit. And the thing about this game is you don't feel like you have to force anything. So you had Coach's Corner and Boxing Fanatico taking small steps because they learn how to be patient. It's like, if I do that step back, it's like, dog, why you do that? Pop, I shoot a jab when I'm in range, swim without getting wet. Everything was very patient. It was not Fight Night. It wasn't Fight Night. And I don't know if they gave a damn if it was fun or not. They were just like, we're going to make a boxing game, an authentic boxing game. And if you don't like it, forget you. I don't care. Obviously, that was the point. Let me see. How did Rocky Marciano and Joe Louis look in color? They found out Joe Louis's trunks. They were doing shit like, they were like, man, I don't think we realized what color these guys were wearing and the color of their skin, really, because everything was in black and white. So they did like a deep dive. They found out that Joe Louis wore purple shorts. I didn't know that. Right? His skin tone, what his skin tone really was, because, you know, as an African-American, black skin seemed to have been almost impossible to pull off, right? I've seen black people look gray, like the Gray Hulk. And I'm like, yo, brother, that's not a black man. But they nailed it. Let me see. You guys should return in the second community event to see, what the game feels like updated. Also, some MMA content creators for crossover. Ricky J. Marshall Miami. Yeah, I get you. Left my ass off. Who did that to you, bro? But damn, knockdowns and KOs that drop you out of the ropes. That's dope. How is Deontay Wilder's power? They didn't have all of the stats all the way correct. And they didn't have the traits in yet. Wilder definitely had power. Definitely. But they didn't have everything down yet. They weren't really focused on that yet. They were focused on the gameplay itself. All of the bells and whistles, they knew that they were going to, that takes a second. But they made sure what they had to the point where when we played it, you knew Wilder had power. I mean, I don't think there wasn't one Wilder fight that went the decision. The thing about Wilder is, here's the thing, funny thing about Wilder, and this may discourage you guys, or may make you guys feel good. Wilder, his body, what the tools that he has as a human being, you can't help but to play with Wilder in a way that you would want him to fight. And in doing that, he's dangerous. With Wilder, I found myself jabbing a bit more and going to the body a bit more than he actually does in real life. When you see his athleticism and his reach and everything, you find yourself like, bam, bam, jab to the body, boom, hook to the body. You found, and then hook to the head, because it's like, yo, I know that's not how he fights in real life, but he still has those tools. Now, did the jab always land? His jab, you know, it's Wilder, but you still want to throw it out there. You still want to throw it out. If you perfect Wilder, I can see you being a problem in the game. A big problem in the game. Let me see. But you have to have that mindset. That's why I was better with Rocky Marciano than with Tyson Fury, because I've always been in real life, and we laughed about this many times, a hooker. I'm a slugger in real life. So people like Conor Benn worked great for me. People like Rocky Marciano worked great for me. Like walk you down, that worked. Carl Froch worked great for me. Right? I mean, I did certain things with Carl Froch that was like a hybrid. He was like a puncher boxer, right? A boxer puncher. So if you have that mindset, I can see you grabbing only certain fighters, right? Like I know I'll be better with Sean Porter than Lomachenko. I already know. I know. Because I'm playing to how my mind is. And it just made me more successful. Can feints cancel at any time during a punch or combo? Not at any time. Because you can get too far in your punch where that punch is coming out. But the window of canceling it is pretty big. I mean, especially when you throw a modified hook. When you exaggerate it, Coach did that to me a few times. He exaggerated it and then canceled it. Like, whoop, bop. You thought you had a friend. You know what I mean? Because I went to dodge it, and when my head came back, pop, thought you had one. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of times people were canceling their modified punches because it looked so exaggerated. But yeah, you can cancel, but the window is shorter with the regular punch than with the modified punch. Let me see. Fight night is boxing on skates. ShowBizz, how are the angles in ESBC? Amazing, especially with the footwork. You can tell that they were really big on footwork. They were very big on footwork. I remember one time I threw a hook and Boxing Fanatical stepped around and he was behind me. I threw a hook. He stepped around. He moved around like he swam without getting wet, and that boy was behind me. I had to actually turn around. And when I missed and he was behind me, I had to turn around. The computer didn't turn me around. I had to take a step forward and be like, yo. Shit. Yo, bro. So, yeah, the angle, the problem was you can't punch at the angle. We couldn't punch while leaning. I'm past the hour. If you guys want me to keep going, I can keep going. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, BK. Go to showbizzadult.com. All right. A wink for the link. Let me see. Hey, what if they make a special controller for the particular game? Reminds me of kind of how we played Mortal Kombat on Sega with 3 buttons. Nah, but you don't want to give somebody else an advantage for having a certain controller, right? Let me see. Look, Bobby, yeah, he remembers. Hey, Fanatico, remember, I couldn't. It's not like when you stepped behind me, dude. If we weren't cool, you could have punched me in the back of the head. But I think Fanatical was just excited that he did it. He was like, oh, and it gave me time to be like, bruh. Real talk, bruh. Oh, let me see. Bringing back memories. Yeah, man. Hey, dude, don't you wish that we could just go over there? Like, just call Will and be like, hey, man, we about to stop through. I wonder if we could do that. Hey, brother, yo, I'm with Fanatical, and we up the street. We at Sully's house, bro. We about to step through, dog. And play this game, dog. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to this thing. How is the mini game animation when you get knocked down? Oh, so it took me a while I hated it. But I wasn't getting knocked down often though. Huh? Yeah, y'all want to talk about that? Where King Juice and them at? Y'all ain't want to talk about that. See, I ain't have practice. Anywho, so you press L2 and R2, right? And what it is there's a bar here and a bar here. And there's a red thing sliding up and down the bar. And you have an arrow. The L trigger and R trigger controls the left arrow and the right arrow. So while the block is moving up and down, you got to catch it. You press the L trigger in. Like, you get what I'm saying? You got to catch it, right? And you have to keep the arrow in there, okay? And the more you get the arrow in that, I think it was a green thing, or was it red? But the more you get your arrow in there, the more your get up bar at the top grows. So it's like the more you, and it was difficult at first, but what we learned was to look at one and use the peripheral to see the other while you're doing it. It seems strange, but it was great. It got to a point where people really had it figured out. It's just that, you know, if you get too hurt, there's shit you can do. You can do this all day. If you get too hurt, if you got rocked too bad, like whap, and you sleep, like it'll get to a point where the arrow is just like, we can't do it, bro. Like, I don't give a damn how good you are getting up. It's you got hit too hard. Like, there's nothing you can do. Let me see. Your sausage. Traveling Trav. Do you remember what boxers y'all were using when Fanatical was behind you? Fanatical, do you remember? Fanatical, do you remember which boxers we were using? Oh man, I can't remember. Was it Kell Brook? He was using Kell Brook too. When he had Kell Brook, you might as well forget about it. Let me see. Can they balance unique animations for everyone? Okay, I'll speak to that. I think I know what your question's asking. If I answer it wrong, I'm sorry. Can they balance unique animations for everyone? Yeah, they're gonna have unique. So when the rendition we were playing, the free movement, everybody looked the same doing it. But that was really just Roy Jones's free movement. Only Roy Jones going to be able to look like that during the free movement. You can't free movement with Rocky Marciano and he put his hands behind his back. They just put that in there, all right, for us to play, to get a feel of the free movement, all right? But the animations were beautiful, but you could tell that was Roy. But they're going to have unique animations for everybody, of course, because they're mocapping everybody. So it's like, okay, now just move freely how you would move. And they're taking that. They're getting a lot of information for everybody who's in the game. All right. So everything can't help but to be unique because it's everybody's mocap. It's who they are, true to form. That's why I don't think you're going to be able to be good with everybody, because I think you're going to be good with those that fits you. You feel me? Because animations and stuff are just coming out differently with every fighter. And if you have a certain time, like I said, I couldn't play with Tyson Fury to save my life. But Rocky Marciano, his jab and everything was where I'm at. I'm 5'9". I'm like 5'10". I ain't a tall guy. So I grabbed Rocky Marciano and understood. And that's the black two sugars. Let me see. What else we got? Is Emmanuel Augustus in the game? I don't know. it would be nice to use him at peak form. Yeah, I don't. He wasn't there when I was playing. Crawford felt really good, but for the timing and rhythm, Kell Brook felt the best to me. You see what he's saying? Just shows even without stats how different everyone is. Even without stats, how different everyone is. Right. For me, Kell Brook, he was okay. For me, okay. But I prefer Connor Ben. You feel what I'm saying? I preferred Gotti. When everybody played with Ward and was like, oh, don't play with Ward, I was fine. So it lets you know what everybody, just who they are and what felt best for them. Can't do that. Can't talk about that. Sean Porter wasn't in the game to play. No, but he was there playing. And Sean Porter, you can tell his body. Sean Porter, as Fanatico, Sean Porter got better. Like by the second game he played, he got better. Third game, he was able to fight with Will. Third game, he was able to fight with Will Kinsler, who plays the game every day. By third game, him and Will had a good fight. Let me break this down for you. If you understand boxing, which who understood boxing more than Sean Porter? If you understand boxing, by the time you learn the buttons, which if you know Fight Night, you know the buttons, but you got to be careful because your hands are going to make you play like Fight Night. Don't do it. But by the time he learned the buttons, because he didn't even know how to punch to the body yet, by the time he learned the buttons, he was good at the game. Just jab, he clinched, let go. I saw him throw a right hand with Wilder, bam, and then clinched, boom, and said, "Hey, you ain't getting shit back on me." Let him go, jab, bop. Like he understood. Now he ended up losing because Will plays the game all the time, but he understood by fight 3. Like he just used his boxing mind and was able to implement that in the game. Right? So if you know boxing, you're going to naturally be better than a gamer. Can you see potential cheesy tactics so far? In the rendition we played, yes. In the rendition we played, yes. Because the body punching was OP. But once they balanced that out, no. I don't know what you'll be able to exploit because there's nothing you do that makes the other fighter do anything. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, with Fight Night, there was a magnet keeping y'all close. So people were playing to that. There was the right hand was worth more than any other punch. So people were spamming the right hand. There was nothing in this game. Dude, how can I say this shit? Can somebody explain this? Do y'all get what I'm saying? You have one fighter who got everything he has. They just focused on that fighter having everything that you have. Terrence Crawford, everything that Terrence Crawford got. Kell Brook, everything Kell Brook got. Now fight. That's it. There was no extra rules. There was a space where the ring was. And you have these tools you could do. Go to loose movement. You can lean on the ropes. You could do whatever. But there's nothing to take advantage of. There's nothing. You're not playing to the game whatsoever. Even the scoring. Because they have 40 judges and randomized 3 to judge your fights. So you don't even know because every judge likes certain things. And you don't know which 3 that's judging your fight. So you just got to fight your fight, bro. You got to fight your fight. There's no, we know that the uppercut and the right hand means more, so you play to the game. It's I got to beat that person who is controlling that fighter, period. I'm telling you, they did not give a damn about making rules that is, oh, this is a arcadey. Let's put this in there to make, let's do a special move like Don King. Let's do a heart punch. There was no... There was none of that. They worked on every fighter and then said, we're going to have a space. We're going to have a ring. And as long as that fighter's authentic and that fighter's authentic, we should have an authentic looking fight. And it worked. Everybody was fighting authentically, bro. Let me see. Steve Willis with full facial, but that shit would be perfect. Perfect. Does clicking analog sticks in feel good for head movement? That's a good question, because it started to feel good. At the beginning, it felt terrible, right? So like, I didn't even use it at the beginning. I was like, forget that noise. I'm not going to defend that way. But then you start kind of labbing, right? You got to get used to everything. And that's another thing. When we were asking questions, I remember looking at King Juice and looking at Fanatical and looking at Coach. I think I've said the same thing to all of them. I was like, I wonder how much of our questions has to do with us not knowing how to really play the game yet. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was like, man, I wish this was more intuitive. Well, maybe we just don't have enough practice with the game. And I wonder, after a month with the game, would we still have these same type of complaints? Right? Because honestly, you have to, and I'm gonna keep saying this, you have to forget about fight night. You're kind of realizing that, damn, I can't do what I want to do. No, you can't do what you used to do on fight night. You got to know the difference. And then be like, all right, man, let's see how this feels. And after a while, like I said, I spent 12 rounds with Terrence Crawford, just slipping and dipping. And after a while, it was pretty good. At the beginning, trash. After a while, though, it's good. Make sure you get as much practice as you can, Biz, because I'm coming for you. You can come all you want. Pause. You can come all you want. Pause. I'm gonna slap you like Will did Chris Rock. Oh my God. Let me see. Someone said something. Here it is. That's a great point, Biz. It's totally different game. It's so different that you realize how bad Fight Night was. Which makes sense for two reasons. Okay? I'm gonna tell you the two reasons. One, EA Sports always did that. Look at the basketball game. Live, NBA Live. They always tried to add things in there to make it kind of arcadey and fun, something to exploit. And I think making the game fun has always been kind of priority to EA. And because of that, you'll find yourself playing an arcadey type of game. Like, for instance, like I said in my video, the two very best players of Fight Night, the two very best that you can be, most of the time, the two very best players was spamming something. So the fight did not look like a fight. You knew exactly what one was waiting to step to step. It didn't look like a fight. In this game, when everybody was skillful, when everybody was very skillful, the final was between King Juice and Boxing Fanatical. That fight looked like I was watching a fight because everybody was pretty good by then. No, actually, Boxing Fanatical versus Coach's Corner was probably the best looking fight. It looked like a fight. Bam, dip, positioning, get some space, right hand, left hook to the body, combination, bam, 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 boom, whoa, get out the way. It looked like a fight. And because of the mocap and animations, you have to throw combinations that make sense too. Like I said, when I would do in Fight Night a jab, hook to the body, hook to the head, that combination doesn't really make sense. So when it came out, it didn't come out fluid, right? But if you throw a jab, left hook, it looks a little bit better, right? If you throw a jab, right hand, left uppercut, feels better, right? There are certain punches that come out because boxers throw those combinations naturally that comes out with more fluidity in the game. Fight night, you were just, every punch came out right. Every punch came out when you pressed it. It not right. It just came out when you pressed it. Right? In fight night, you can throw 3 uppercuts in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Try that shit in ESBC. Boom, boom, boom. It just ain't gonna look. You got to do too much shit. You got to do it. It's too real to life. You can't. That just nothing works like that. Who you think you are, Mike Tyson from Tyson Punch Out? It just doesn't work like that. So that's the beauty of it. That's really the beauty of it. Was there any button you would change personally? No, because I got used to everything and it was fine. We need a day that you and Fanatical can do a show. 100%. 100%. We Fanatical, we gotta set that up, bro. They have different POVs, first person mode. Yeah. We learned that camera 2 was the best one because it showed their whole body. And I think that's going to end up being a default camera because you want that point of view. You don't want the point of view from first person. You don't. And you don't want the point of view of waist up and shit like that. You don't. Because footwork and positioning is everything in the game. It's everything in the game. Really. Because it's pretty much everything in real life. Your footwork and your positioning is everything. Your feet are everything in boxing. So you want to be able to see your feet and see the true distance between you and the other fighter if you want to be successful. Hold on. Let me give it to y'all.
So if you keep listening to Sean and not listening to me, you're not going to be successful.
Let me see. Now, online spectator mode, bet on the fights in the game. That has to be written down. I didn't ask. Oh, I couldn't ask. That's right. I couldn't ask about career mode or online, just the gameplay. They wanted the meat and potatoes to be right before the bells and whistles. I want to spectator mode. I have to ask. That's a good question though, there, because I want that so much. You actually got that like in fighting games, like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Tattoos and create. Yeah, because all you need to do is look at Conor Ben. Look at the fighters they have in there. Tattoos all over the place. They definitely gonna make that an option. Let me see. Can diff weight classes fight each other? Not in the rendition we played. So I think so though, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's going to be different game modes. And you know, Ash said little things real quick about stuff like that. Like different game modes and you know, casual versus hardcore mode and stuff like that. So I think there's going to be kind of like modes where you can just do something like that. But in the rendition we played, the welterweights fought the welterweights, middleweights, and so on and so forth. Biz only answers questions for cash, milk, and subscribers. No. It's just that I'm talking long, and by the time I'm done talking, there's another person paying for their comment. So I have to prioritize them. I can't skip them. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get through those first and then everybody else. But no, I'm not doing anything to purposely milk anybody or anything like that. No. If you're on this side of the camera, you'll understand. But, you know, you can only speak from your point of view, so I understand. Let me see what else we got. See, now there's no more, right? So now I can talk to this guy. Man, I'm so hyped. 100% into Tyson Bell. Gym leagues. You talking about like fight night, right? Like gyms? I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the online mode so much. I really don't. I know they were excited to talk about it. It's just that Will Kinsler was really like, bro, forget all that. 100%. Like, we're not going to talk about any of that. They kept a lot of stuff to their hip. They didn't want us to be exposed to everything and every idea of the game. What they were really trying to do, and I'm going to say it again, what they were really trying to do was make sure that the foundation of the game, because when it's all said and done, a fight is the most important. The fight, just like real life, when we cover the fights, the fight is everything for them. Most importantly, that's the foundation. There's stuff that I don't think I want to say though, still, because I was talking, we were like, we start knocking back the whiskey and we're just talking. All of a sudden you hear something and it's just like, I don't know, that should have been. Because you got to understand. I'm so bananas. I'm so crazy that a lot of times they were as interested in how crazy I am. Right. So once they got me alone, it's like Todd Grisham and, it's me, Coach's Corner, Todd Grisham, Will, and, we sitting back, bro, eating the best food that you could possibly think of, eating and mashed potatoes, knocking back the whiskey and having a good time playing pool. And then, it was like, man, I don't know if that, don't worry about it. I ain't gonna say, but I'm gonna say this. When looking at the menu, this is what I concur. All right. I saw events in the corner, and I wonder if everybody felt the same way I did. I saw events in the corner, and I'm wondering, okay, if you can play the event. So what I mean by events was Canelo versus Bivol. They had the zone, Canelo versus Bivol, and they had the time, the date, the arena, everything was scrolled. So I'm wondering if you click on that, are you given the opportunity to play the fight under those circumstances? Or can you order the fight? And if this isn't the case, I want to ask ESBC, if y'all watching, because I know somebody from ESBC going to watch because they want to make sure I don't have diarrhea of the mouth. Like, hey, brother. No, but I'm going to ask ESBC this. I just think that'd be a fantastic way to support the sport. Can you imagine a son and his father are playing with Canelo Alvarez in the game, and he's introducing his son to Canelo? Like, this guy is dope, and he's talking to him about it. And then his son sees that Canelo is fighting in 2 months, and he's such a fan of him in the game that he's like, Dad, can we order the fight? And it's just a push of a button. Can you imagine? Now, I don't know how hard it would be to do that, but do you know how great that'd be for boxing? I just don't know how hard it'd be to do that. But if it's online, I don't know. Let me see. Was it input lag or animation time? It's animation time. It just felt laggy though. But everybody, like I said, I have fight night fingers. So everybody got used to it before me. I was so good at fight night. It was ridiculous, bro. So I still have fight night fingers. I was still like, boop, boop. And I'm like, damn, the punch didn't come out right. But everybody else start to get like accustomed to bat. Like, I saw people stringing together 5-punch combinations where the most I was stringing together was 3. People boom, 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 and get the hell out of there. You want to be that wide open, pop, 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 pop. You so busy trying to throw your punch, pop, 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 pop. And I'm going to block yours and swim without getting wet. And I'm like, how are they stringing that together? I think they because Study was another one. Study didn't use the analog, but Study was fine throwing longer combinations. I think they understood the pace of the game before I did. They caught on to it before I did. My hands, I didn't realize my hands were so muscle memory, so attached to fight night. Let me see. So I think it may have been an animation. What them ring girls looking like? Ha! They didn't have the ring girls in there. But no, but Fanatical say he did use the analog and the punches came out quicker. So no, there was a lag with the buttons. My bad. He did say that he used the analog and the punches came out quicker. You say how you wanted your boxing knowledge to make you better at the game rather than just being a good gamer. Did you feel that when you played the game? Yep, I said that earlier. Like I said, Sean Porter, he expressed to us that he doesn't even play video games. He hates playing video games. Right? And here's another thing that you guys, Sean Porter hates to lose. Let's just say we're playing pool and he hates to lose. And I think that's why he preferred fighting. Okay? So he doesn't play video games. But by the third fight, he was playing toe-to-toe with Will because of his boxing knowledge. So that was absolutely on point. The study, Concept Reese said he couldn't beat Study. But he said it must be because Study fights. Study has a boxing background. And Study said he implemented those things. He was nodding his head like, yep. I understood the sport of boxing more than Concept Reese. Well, Concept Reese, he understood gaming more. But Study, he couldn't beat him. I think he finally beat him once or something like that. So, yeah, they were out in the UK, by the way. Let me see. Just got in here. Did anybody ask if standing 10 counts or TKO would be waving the fight off? Yeah. Throwing in a towel, I don't know. I didn't ask that. Taking a knee, yeah. Standing 10 count. I don't think so. I didn't hear any implications of a standing 10 count. Let me see. Does the controller vibrate when you feel punches? Yeah. Because I remember there was a flash a few times. I remember me and Boxing Fanatical was playing each other, and there was a flash, like somebody got, but we didn't know. We didn't know who landed what. And he was like, oh, wait, hold up. My controller vibrated. And I was like, oh, okay. you got caught something nasty. But at first, it was like, oh, who landed that? And they were like, did your controller vibrate? No. All right, let's go. Oh, let me see. You were spamming probably. No, okay. So in Fight Night, I wasn't a spammer. I hated spammers. The only way to beat me in Fight Night is if you were amazing at spamming. You had to be top-notch spammer. But in Fight Night, I did certain things to cancel the spamming. A jab to the body. Right? A head weave of my own. Right? A hook to the body. Right? A quick jab to the head and then lean straight back. Jab, lean straight back. Because I know here's come the straight right. Jab, bam. Right? That's the shit I was doing. I was doing all the things that I had to do to be great at Fight Night because I didn't even know how to spam. I didn't know how to step in Fight Night. I didn't know how to step. If y'all were to play me in Fight Night right now, ShowBizz ain't stepping. I don't even know how to do it right. I never learned it. I knew how to be an inside fighter. I knew how to be patient, and I definitely knew how to be patient because I used to make people crack and they'd get frustrated and sometimes quit. Even if they're winning, they'll quit. But I'm just saying my timing and what I did to stop steppers and stop spammers, I was doing that in the game. And there was no use. There was no need to do that. But that's what I was doing. And I wasn't winning a damn fight because that wasn't helpful in winning a fight, rather. It wasn't helpful. So what I started to do was fight more. In the ESBC, I started to fight more, and I was and I was sitting down on many of my shots. I just started because I was trying to break my brain. I started to fight more in a patient way, though. Like I wasn't throwing a bunch of punches. I was bam. And that's what Fanatical said. I can't time you. Don't forget, I was beating him. He couldn't beat me until he found my timing. He couldn't time the way I threw things at such a weird pace, but they were hard shots. Bam, jab, boom. I had a broken rhythm, right? Once he found that rhythm, he beat me 5 times in day. But what I'm saying is, no, I wasn't spamming. I was just doing what I did to be successful in fight night, and I couldn't stop doing it. I couldn't stop doing it. Will they have the promoters in the game along with networks? I know networks and the known commentators for each network. I don't know. I'm not afraid to say I don't know here. Thank you so much, $1 trillion. Let me see. Kevin! Thank you so much. I hate the waiting process. Fight night effing. Yeah, my fight night fingers just killing me because I was so good. See, that was another thing. Because I was so good in fight night, I knew I was going to be whipping everybody's ass in the ESBC, which I was doing a good job. Day one. Day one, I did an excellent job. All right. Actually, I did good, no, period. It's just that I lost the tournament. Which I was robbed. Ask Todd Grisham. When I lost the tournament, Todd Grisham posted ShowBizz got robbed. Why? Because I dropped King Juice for a 10 count. They said 9, 10. I'm like, yeah. And then he stood up and they were like, let's get. It was a glitch. I said, you got to be kidding me. And of course, and then he dropped me. And I couldn't get up. 9, 10, King Juice. I was like, damn it. But my weird timing was very good. I think UFC 2, the best controls. I hope they are something like that. And I will definitely play for years. Can you let me know and try UFC 2? I remember UFC 2. UFC 2 was nice. You're probably right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, thinking about it, they said a close fight, inside fighting would kind of be like a mini game. Did they talk about how smooth the transition was between inside and outside? Yeah, they did. It's not going to. Here's the thing. When you engage on the inside, right, you can get inside and out. And if you're clinching and stuff too much, the ref breaks it up. But from my understanding, you can get out. I think it's going to hurt on your escape, right? Because I think there's going to be some vulnerability leaving. All right. That's what I'm guessing. What I'm also guessing is to get in the inside, it's going to take great patience and great footwork. Why I say that is because, brother, there's no magnet. There's no fight night magnet drawing y'all together. So you're going to have to cut off the ring and understand. And it's very hard to do it if somebody is, especially in free movement. Yo, you press free movement and you don't know where they're going. He dips down and then he could go forward and backwards, and he just doing and moving his body and just doing shit with his feet. That's kind of like, I don't know if you're going left or right. So I think to get in there, it's going to take. I mean, you're just going to have good footwork, bro. Or the other person wants to engage too. Exiting, I think is going to be easy enough. But I think it's going to be dangerous to exit. Let me see. Headbutts was not accidental. You actually press a button for headbutts and low blows. Can you parry or step back? Yeah, Frank the Tank. But listen, again, nothing that you do is going to be like fight night. So when you think of parry, and if you think of stepping back, it doesn't the parry doesn't cause an animation from the opponent. Understand, Frank, what we're saying. If you do, there's no parry punch, right? So if you do a certain block, if you do a certain block and the punch grazed the glove, and it would be kind of like considered a bit of a parry, your miss, you don't go and then leave somebody open. There's none of that, because then you'll be exploiting that. It's just real life. Pop, make them pay. It's just real life. There's no the step back. Yeah, you can step back. You can step forward. You can step to the side. Right? You can run in this game, but the run sucked. They said they got to change the animation because it looked like he was kind of running. But you can step and do all that, but it's not like fight night. Pop. No, it's a step in boxing. But there's no, you can punch while stepping too. But it's like, there's nothing that they do that doesn't look natural. There's nothing arcadey in it. So yeah, you can step and do all that. Please, by all means. But you're not stepping in the name of love, bro. It's not like I'm going to step all night and beat somebody. Get that out of here. Because on top of that, stamina. You do that shit too much, your stamina. I knocked down Boxing Fanatical, and he was like, huh? And I didn't want to tell him yet because I wanted to win. But he's a mover. He's a mover. Todd Grisham called him a runner. It was but he's a mover. So while I'm looking at his BPM the whole time. And then I see his stamina go down. His stamina went down and he threw a punch. His stamina went down, he threw a punch, that stamina shot down, and I was like, bam! And he just took a step back and dropped. He was like, what? Bro, it was, you doing that shit too much. Running around too much, that stamina, that BPM, and through that, whoop, bam. Bro, you gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. We need to run Coach's Corner, my man. We need to run back on Gotti Ward, even though I won. Brother, you ain't win. Coach, you ain't win. I whipped your ass. See, I came back and I whipped your ass. See, your feelings would have been hurt, Coach. Coach. See, let me tell you something, though. We definitely got to run back that Gotti Ward, Coach. That was crazy, and that almost caused a nosebleed. That fight almost caused a nosebleed. I was talking about it earlier, Coach. But I do want to say this, though. Coach beat me so bad the fight before that I just said, I lost. Let's restart. And everybody was like, oh, that's like a rage quit. He beat me so bad the game before that I said, let's restart. And we restarted, and then we had the Gotti Ward fight. Like the first one was Gotti Ward too, but it was the classic fight happened right after that. Because that Coach, his understanding of distance was mwah, mwah. And he understood distance. That was the first time I think I played you. He understood distance day one because of the boxing mind. I'm telling you, Coach would sit there like this, bro, and my punches was like, and he didn't lean back. He just knew, brother, I mean, you're not going to hit me from here. And I'm going to, and he inch forward. He'll move that stick. He'll move that stick an inch forward, bro. Because if you move it all the way, they take a bigger step. He took a baby step. So the punch just missed, take a baby step, back, land his jab, take a little step back. Brother, he understood distance like nobody. I said, okay, let me start over. Let me start over because right now I'm getting schooled. Let me start over. So then I start fight. I had to fight him. You couldn't box him. You had to fight him. At least I had to fight him. But him and Boxing Fanatico, that was a boxing match. Bro, I was never going to talk about the first game. I know, but I got to, bro. We got to keep it real. I ain't never seen a guy understand inches the way you did, bro. You understood inches, bro. Let me see. Biz. I don't know what that is, bro. It sounds real pause, bro. Let me see. if you played with Shakur Stevenson, how was the gameplay? He wasn't one of the 11, but I'm pretty sure I would never fight with him. I mean, I would fight with him to play, just to play, but against y'all, I probably would never fight with him, because now I understand that if you implement your brain, how you are as a fighter naturally, it works best for you. It is what it is. Coach, Boxing Fanatico, that's how they are. That's how they are. So that's how they played. I played totally different. Well, they didn't even play alike. They didn't. Okay, so Boxing Fanatico was like Keith Thurman. Moved a lot, through combinations, moved a lot. Coach was like Shakur Stevenson. That boy ain't got to move. That boy will move a half an inch here, a half inch there. He knew. He stayed away from you right here. You got to go get Coach. Don't let Coach sit right here and whoop your ass all night. You got to go get him. I was a slugger, a haymaking slugger. King Juice went to the body and head, but more with straight punches. Boom, 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 boom. He'll hook to the body some, but he loved the jab a lot. His jab was going up and down a lot. So we were all, we were just all different. You could tell that we were, you can imply who you are as a person onto the game. So there's no way I'd be good with Lomachenko, Shakur. No. Does their arms lower when they become tight? Yep, and their face change. They're like, but it doesn't stay that way, because when you hear that and you go into your corner, you come back, they're looking better. But it doesn't take long before they, do they have slower movement when tired? See, the stamina wasn't balanced. There wasn't one fight that ended, unless it was how we were fighting. No, actually, I'm lying, because I beat Boxing Fanatico and his stamina was at 18%. There wasn't one fight other than that fight where the stamina was low. Everybody ended their fights with like 80% or more. And we complained about that. So they're going to make everything more balanced. They're working on making everything balanced. But the stamina wasn't really that balanced in the rendition that we played. Yeah, King Juice got the floppy glove, dog. King Juice got the floppy glove. King Juice, he spiked my water, everything. I had Wilder too. So King Juice, he spiked my water and everything. Let me see. Did you ask them? I got to go in a minute. Did you ask them if we can use spike? I know my water was spiked. I know that. The fight I lost, my water was spiked. So, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let me go ahead. How was Wilder's power? Like I said, he was definitely powerful. Oh, definitely powerful. He had more power than Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, I knocked down. I had Wilder, Boxing Fanatico had Fury. I knocked him down. Had to have been 9 times. Had to have been 9. That boy kept getting up. I couldn't believe it. That's the thing about Tyson Fury. They made it so he's getting up, bro. Period. I was dribbling him off the canvas. That boy kept getting up. I thought he was going to beat me, messing around. I thought he was going to beat me. But they didn't have all the stats all the way true to form, though. They didn't have it all the way true to form yet. They're working on that. James West, thank you so much, Tyson Bell. The Undertaker, brother, I couldn't believe it. Fury does have. I couldn't believe it. I was dropping that man off the canvas, and he. I was like, brother, his health was low. I'm like, brother, this guy here. Roberto Duran is in the game, I think, but he wasn't one of the 11 that we were playing with. Let me see. Do I think I'm about to go? Let me get some more questions real quick, though. BS, after playing ESBC, are you more hyped or not as hyped? I'm addicted. I can't. I'm annoyed. I'm pissed off and annoyed that I can't just lab and play that game and lab right now. The game was the first boxing game I've ever played. The only boxing game I've ever played. Everything else were games about boxing. Okay. All the fight nights, all the knockout kings, all the all those games, Creed and all that shit. Holyfield, Buster Douglas, all of them. Okay. They were games about boxing. This was the first authentic boxing game I ever played. I'm addicted to it. Dude, I'm like Pookie, bro. Pookie after the slap. All right, that's the last slap joke. I'm like Pookie. I can't imagine not playing that game again before the release, because I just can't go. Brother, I really need that game in my life. The game is better than the trailer. It's better than the trailer. It is what it is. The rendition we played was great, but we never got to the career. We never got to online. Everything was still glitchy. The complete game balanced out with everything that is promised to us. I'm going to be addicted. That's the only game that's going to get spins. That's it. That's the game I've been looking for. That's the game I've been looking for. Why didn't we see the gameplay you played? It wasn't allowed, and I'll be sued. I'm telling you, all this shit, I'll be auctioning. I'll be auctioning all of this to pay off my debt. All right. So no. we weren't on that at all. Let me see. Which fighter are you most excited to play with next? Canelo. Because I knew playing with Rocky Marciano, I was going to be great with Canelo. And let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to tell you this. I thought Lomachenko. I thought I wanted to play with him more than anybody. Canelo. Let me tell you why. Because I throw hard shots once every so often, bro. I walk you down. I'm going to tell you, this is what you're going to get from ShowBizz. I shoot a jab. Boom. Lean here, lean there. Walk you down. Counter. Bam. Walk you down. Hook. Boom. Modified. Bam. To the head. Everything was. Have you guys ever seen me hit the bag? How many of you guys ever seen me hit the heavy bag? That's how I hit the heavy bag, is how I box. So you grab that dude and put him in ESBC. You're going to get that style, because naturally I'm fighting to that. And it allows for me. I couldn't do that with Fight Night so much, but the game allows for me to be me. So, bruh. Oh, you too slow. You got to be patient in that game. Every punch going to have funk on it. And my head movement ain't slow. Boom. Boom. Bruh, please. I'm trying to have you spin out you getting broken up. They're going to get broken up. How do you think Manuel Augustus would be? If they had him in a game, he'd probably be the most annoying guy, especially in free movement. You put Augustus in free movement, bruh. I'll be like, he'll probably whoop my ass. You have him doing all that shit. He'll probably whip me from pillar to post. Let me see. What's going on, J Body? Thanks for giving away your game plan up off net. Yeah. Now do something about it. Tias. Now do something about it. Seriously. Now I was very hard to beat. Very hard to beat. I'm gonna tell you something funny. I'm gonna end it with this. Everybody was. Coach's Corner. King Juice. King Juice had Coach's Corner number for a minute. I remember that. King Juice, Coach's Corner, Boxing Fanatical, and ShowBizz. We were all hard to beat. All of us. All of us. And once we start having our tournaments live, when we do, I'm telling you, on fight night, when I'm calling the fights, we're having during the day, we're having tournaments with each other. All of us. Y'all better bring your A game. Bring your lunch, because it's going to be all day. ShowBizz the dope. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out. I will have another Q&A if you guys want. If you didn't get all your questions out, we could do that later. The rest of the week, I think we're going to do some more ESBC stuff. This is really a slow week for boxing. We definitely got to get our Savannah Marshall on. I will be calling that fight this weekend. Next week, game over. It's all boxing. April 9th is ridiculous. So it's all boxing. April 9th is too dumb. Even UFC, like, it's on. And then we'll have an opportunity to talk some more ESBC. Shit, not in April. Everything we'll talk ESBC in between. Yeah, we'll sneak ESBC in between, but the fights come April, May, June. Bruh, let me see. Who was the worst loser other than Porter? Me. Me. Because I'm too animated. You best want to catch me like, damn, I'm out. Huh.